Hello, welcome everybody. Dr. Mary Barson here with this episode of Low Carb in the Leaves for you, our fabulous real life medicine community. I've had COVID. So last week on Monday, my whole family, we all got struck down with COVID symptoms. And my daughter, my partner, and I'm now 30 weeks pregnant. My daughter, it was a flash in the pan for her. She 1.5 days, really high fevers for like 24 hours, moderately high fevers for another 12 hours. And then she was fine. So halfway through the second day, she was over it and bouncing off the walls. And then Pat and I are a bit different. Pat got fatigue and sore throat and asthma, and he's been grumbling along, but a lot better yesterday. And I got quite unwell. I'm so grateful that it, like, on the scale of things, not that I'm well, I didn't have to go to hospital or anything like that, but it was a bit shocking to me. And I haven't been unwell for a long time. I'm still a bit short of breath with talking, so I'm not completely better, but I am definitely on the mend. So I got not particularly big sore throat or headache or anything, but shortness of breath. I'm still a bit short of breath, and dizziness, and my heart rate. If I just got up to walk to another room, my heart rate would race and I would feel really quite dizzy. So I had to rest. It was a state of enforced rest, which I found challenging, but I managed to do it. And I'm so grateful for my fabulous partner, Lucy, who took over the coaching calls and was able to fulfill my commitments last week when I couldn't because I was really unwell. But I'm back on board this week, gently back on board this week. So I've been reflecting on the week. I managed to stay on track with my low carb lifestyle, and I was thinking about why could I do this now? Because there was a time in the not so distant past that if I was feeling tired and crappy and my partner was feeling tired and crappy and we were stuck at home, it would have been a perfect excuse to just have tea and toast and not care about anything, not care about what we were eating. I did. So there were a few things I reckon that helped me. First of all, I've just been working on my mindset for many years. So I know how much eating real food helps me. I know how much it helps my immune system. And I know that I feel worse if I don't. I'm also tracking my blood sugars. Because I may or may not have a possibly controversial diagnosis of gestational diabetes. So that obviously was forefront of my mind. I wasn't going to sit down and eat lots of crappy food when I had this accountability device stuck into my arm. That's a continuous glucose monitor for anyone who's interested. It's just measuring my sugars, which have been normal, which is great. I had a freezer stock full of food, so that's a habit that I am in when I cook a stew or a casserole, or the very occasional keto lasagna. I portion off. I freeze a few extra portions. So it turns out that we had about 5 days worth of food in the freezer because we burned through it all in 5 days. But that was nice. And then after that, I just went back to my tried and true tactics. After all our frozen food was gone, my tried and true tactic of eating 5-minute meals that I prepare incredibly quickly. So I've eaten a lot of Mexican eggs. I've eaten a lot of tin tuna with broccoli. I've eaten a lot of any kind of grilled fried protein with any kind of steamed veggies or salad. So just by keeping my meal prep really simple. And this is not a bragging thing, really, not at all. Just to show you examples of how it's possible to stay on track with your food choices, even when you could have lost control of everything else. So those things were all helpful to me. And so I suppose I invite you all to have a bit of a think about the future. And So say you get unwell with COVID, because it could happen if it hasn't happened already. What can you do what could you do to be prepared in that scenario? Think about a plan, about how you could stay on plan when things aren't going to plan. This is going to get increasingly more relevant as Easter comes along, beautiful people. So Easter's not the same as COVID, but there is going to be a lot of extra sugary food, hot cross buns and Easter eggs around, possibly even more alcohol. And what's your plan? It's great to have a plan for when things don't go to plan. All right, beautiful people, you'll see me again tomorrow. Bye now.